Okay, let's unpack this. You've sent us a truly fascinating stack of sources, articles, videos, insights, all about Google. Today, we're not just scratching the surface, we're taking a full deep dive into what truly makes Google, well, googly.
Yeah, it's remarkable how much information is actually out there publicly available.
Mm.
And our mission today, really, is to distill that down to the absolute essentials for you. We're going to navigate everything from, the daily work environment and the core principles that drive this tech giant
Right.
to the surprisingly intricate steps of their hiring process.
Yeah.
And even take a look at some of the key roles within the company. And this whole journey, it raises a pretty important question, I think. How does a company of Google's immense scale maintain such a distinct identity?
Exactly.
And maybe even more fascinating, how do they find the exact right people to fit that very unique mold?
That really is the core challenge, isn't it? Because let's be honest, trying to grasp Google's culture, its hiring process, what it's really like to work there, it can feel like trying to drink from a fire hose of information.
hmm
Hmm.
Totally overwhelming sometimes.
So our goal today is to give you that shortcut, kind of cut through the noise, to reveal some surprising facts and offer practical insights. We're really zeroing in on what it genuinely means to be part of the Google ecosystem, and maybe crucially, how to navigate the path to potentially joining it. We've gone through a mountain of material, so let's just dive straight into what makes Google Google. Hashtag tag tag one, the googly culture and environment. So we often hear about Google as this, I don't know, mythical land of free food, quirky offices, endless perks, and sure, those things exist, but our sources reveal it's so much more than that. It's about a distinct way of working, thinking, interacting. It goes far deeper than just the superficial benefits, right?
Mm.
What's the true essence of working at Google?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, Google's culture isn't some happy accident. It's very intentionally designed to foster creativity and collaboration. That's a core philosophy. It's aimed at enabling employees to focus entirely on innovation, kind of unburdened by mundane distractions.
Ah,
It's a deliberate construction of an environment where people can thrive and, contribute at their highest level, pushing boundaries.
Mm.
Hashtag 1.1, supportive and collaborative environment.
my first big surprise reading through the sources was that the competitive tech bro stereotype we often see, like in movies, The Internship, for example,
Yeah.
apparently that isn't really the reality at Google. Instead, the overwhelming vibe seems to be incredibly down to earth and collaborative.
Right.
One Googler explicitly mentioned they were afraid that Google would be super competitive, only to find the reality, though, couldn't be any more different.
Interesting.
Yeah. Another was genuinely surprised by how down to earth everybody is around me. Not as cliquey as I thought. It sounds like a remarkably friendly and, well, inclusive place.
And that's a critical insight.
Mm.
Almost counterintuitive, maybe.
Yeah.
The sources really emphasize the paramount importance of teamwork. The success of the project is valued above, any individual achievements.
That's a big shift from some places.
It is. Employees aren't just expected to share knowledge. They're actively encouraged to help their colleagues. This creates an environment where, supposedly, the best idea wins, which encourages robust debate and discussion,
Yeah.
specifically to bring diverse viewpoints together, not shut them down. It's about collective improvement.
Mm-hmm.
We heard, everybody's so friendly, and even if you're the best of best people working the team, they'll come to your level and try to explain you stuff. And what truly struck me was this sentiment. Pick any topic, and I can promise you there's someone here who is both better at it than you or more knowledgeable, and also, and more importantly, willing to help you learn.
Wow. That speaks volumes.
It really does. About the supportive and collaborative nature of the place. Hashtag 1.2, innovation and impact.
Okay, this is where it gets particularly interesting for me. Google is relentlessly looking for 10x thinking and leapfrog innovation. This isn't just about, small incremental improvements. It's about a radical shift in how problems are approached, aiming for 10 times the impact.
Precisely. 10 times. It means setting incredibly ambitious, almost unreachable goals, what they affectionately call moonshots. Goals that genuinely push the boundaries of what's possible today.
Oh, really stretching.
Oh yeah, employees are actively encouraged to experiment with new technologies, implement them in unique ways, pushing them to go beyond your skill set.
Oh.
The fundamental focus is on impacting billions of users. Billions! Which employees frequently describe as an incredibly gratifying experience.
I can imagine.
One Googler really articulated this mindset well, saying, "We are always looking for the 10x, we are always looking for the leapfrog innovation, so you have to be willing to let all your preconceived notions be broken at any moment." They added, "You're going to have to make your own rules sometimes, and this is actually part of the fun."
Making your own rules sounds exciting, maybe a little chaotic.
Maybe. But it's about building the future, right? Not just refining the present. Hashtag tag, tag, tag 1.3, work-life balance and well-being.
So many people assume that working at big tech companies like Google means an incredibly stressful, demanding grind, endless hours. But what did Googlers actually say about their work-life balance? Is it all crunch time all the time?
Well, our sources clearly highlight Google's strong emphasis on employee well-being, which, yeah, might surprise some people. Managers actively encourage frequent breaks, and taking paid time off isn't just allowed, it's encouraged. Pushed, even.
Really? Encouraged?
Yeah, we heard a story about one manager who made sure their entire team took time off, and the manager themselves took 2 weeks off instead of just one, just to underscore the importance of recharging.
Leading by example.
Exactly. And there are ample resources for mental health support. The company offers remarkable assistance for employees' full lives, including, family responsibilities. It's an environment that recognizes employees are total persons who brings with her whole entire life to work.
That's a great quote.
Isn't it? The CEO even announced an additional day off if employees take 4 days. And they're actively encouraging decreasing meeting load to allow more focused time for core work. Less meeting fatigue.
Oh, everyone wants less meeting fatigue.
Right. One employee particularly highlighted mental health resources as a favored benefit, explained how it helped them understand imposter syndrome, find words for their experiences, and build courage for therapy, ultimately helping them personally and professionally to continue to love and appreciate myself, and also to help me show up better for the people that I work with. So this holistic support system, it seems far from the stereotypical crunch culture some might expect. Hashtag tag, tag, tag 1.4, facilities and perks.
Okay, of course, we can't talk about Google without mentioning the famous perks. Beyond the free food, which is legendary, our sources explain there's a deeper, more intentional purpose to these elaborate facilities, whether it's in the Bay Area campuses or, NYC. It's not just about luxury, is it?
You're right, it's absolutely not just luxury. These benefits are an integral part of the culture. They're specifically designed to remove distractions, ensure comfort, and allow employees to focus entirely on their work and creativity.
Removing friction.
Precisely. The intention is to provide inviting, welcoming facilities that inherently support deep thinking and problem solving. As one employee put it quite eloquently, I appreciate going to an office that is aesthetically beautiful, that helps me calm my nerves, that helps me relax and to think and to solve problems.
Me and my room matters.
It really does. Another noted, Google has done a wonderful job of embracing the outdoors with the indoors, creating these calming yet stimulating environments. And let's not overlook the practical stuff. Bikes on Bay Area campuses, scooters in NYC, they make travel between buildings incredibly easy.
Little things that add up.
Exactly. Further removing minor friction points from the workday. It's all about optimizing the environment for peak performance and, crucially, well-being. Hashtag tag, tag, tag 1.5, growth and development.
Okay, so beyond the day-to-day work and the fancy perks, Google clearly invests in its people's long-term development. It's not just about the job you're doing now, but about fostering continuous growth and where you're going next. How do they cultivate that?
A core element of this seems to be the pervasive culture of feedback. It's fundamental to both performance and growth. It's genuinely seen as a gift, apparently, because it provides these powerful opportunities for increasing self-awareness, helps individuals become more effective leaders.
Feedback is a gift. Interesting framing.
It is. One manager noted their own growth was intrinsically tied to not just my manager, but the people that work for me and also the people around me, highlighting that multi-directional nature of feedback.
Not just top-down.
Right. Furthermore, the company offers an educational allowance that actively supports higher education and continuous learning, even for full-time employees, which demonstrates a clear commitment to lifelong learning. It's evident Google actively invests in building great leaders and managers. They provide learning opportunities driven by a blend of data, research, neuroscience, and academic expertise.
So a real commitment there.
Seems like it, yeah. Hashtag tag, 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 tag 1.6, diversity and inclusion.
Now, one Googler mentioned being pleasantly surprised by how international and diverse the workforce is. This feels like it goes beyond just being a nice-to-have. It seems deeply integrated into how Google operates and even develops its products.
It absolutely is from what we've seen. Google values people from vastly different experiences and backgrounds. And they explicitly use this diversity as a strategic advantage, not just window dressing.
How so?
Well, their unwavering commitment to building AI that is helpful for everyone is a direct reflection of this. They recognize diverse perspectives are crucial for creating truly universal technology. Avoid bias, essentially.
Makes sense.
And research, highlighted in our sources, even shows that companies that significantly invest in diversity and have women in leadership actually make more money.
The business case.
Exactly. Underscoring the business imperative behind their approach. This commitment extends to actively empowering underrepresented groups, a principle vividly exemplified by the I Am Remarkable initiative, which we'll definitely talk about more later.
Looking forward to that.
It's clear that seeing all of that diversity was pretty cool for new hires, fostering an environment where you really do have so many people from all parts of the world. Hashtag tag 1.7. Core principles driving the culture.
So given everything we've heard, the collaboration, the innovation, the focus on well-being and diversity, what are the underlying beliefs, the core principles that truly shape this unique Google culture? Our sources talk about a few that aren't just, mission statements on a wall. They seem like foundational operational guidelines.
Yeah, this is where the why of my Google's actions becomes crystal clear. Their entire approach seems built on these fundamental tenets. They guide everything, from product development to hiring, internal interactions, everything. And the main unwavering principle, the one they repeat constantly, is focus on the user and all else will follow.
The North Star.
Pretty much. Every single decision, from the smallest feature tweak to the largest strategic pivot, is supposedly made with the end user's best interest at heart.
Okay. And building on that user focus, we keep hearing about the push for 10x thinking, like we've touched on, that ambition.
Right. It's not about asking how to improve something by 10%, but literally 10 times better. That really fosters a culture of audacious, almost unattainable goals. It drives breakthrough innovation.
Sounds intense.
It probably is. Another critical principle is speed and efficiency. Google inherently prefers fast product launches and iterative improvements. The motto is, the faster, the better.
Launch and learn.
Exactly. This agile approach allows for rapid learning and adaptation in a constantly evolving tech landscape. Coupled with this is openness and transparency, maximizing information availability internally. Open discussions are actively encouraged, and hierarchy often matters far less than the sheer quality and merit of an idea.
Ideas over titles. That ties into the next one, right? Data-driven decisions.
Precisely. It means opinions or seniority don't win debates. Compelling data and rigorous analytics do. The ability to argue your position with objective, quantifiable data is highly valued, ensures the best solutions, backed by evidence, rise up.
Makes sense for an engineering-driven company.
It does. And finally, a truly progressive and foundational principle that underpins all the others: psychological safety. This involves creating an environment where employees feel secure enough to not be afraid to take risks, voice unconventional ideas, or admit mistakes without fear of punishment.
That's crucial for innovation.
Absolutely vital. Failure isn't a punitive event here. It's viewed as a crucial learning opportunity, which is essential for fostering genuine innovation and open, honest communication. Hashtag tag 1.8. Googliness, the personal qualities.
Okay, but beyond all these principles in the environment, there's this informal term that pops up repeatedly: Googliness. It's not just about what you do, but who you are, the personal qualities that make someone a great fit for this unique culture. What exactly does Googliness encompass?
Right, this informal yet deeply significant term, it describes a very specific set of personal qualities Google explicitly looks for, and it's integrated throughout their hiring and work environment. It's not just an afterthought. So a truly Googly employee is someone who is fundamentally curious and learning-oriented, always eager to absorb new info, expand their skills.
Lifelong learner.
Totally. They are humble, not prone to flaunting achievements, which actively fosters that collaborative spirit we discussed. A good sense of humor is also a recognized quality. Contributes to a lighter, more enjoyable, maybe more creative workplace.
So it's not just about being book smart. It's about being a well-rounded, adaptable person who adds positively to the team dynamic. And it sounds like they also value a certain intellectual bravery.
Exactly right. They look for non-standard thinking, someone not afraid to challenge established practices, think outside the box. Perfectly aligns with that 10x thinking mindset.
Right.
Googliness also includes being conscientious and responsible, diligently accountable for their work. A comfort with ambiguity is crucial, given the complex, often uncharted global problems Google tackles.
Yeah.
Navigating uncertainty with an open mind, a flexible approach, that's key.
Especially with things like AI now.
Absolutely. And finally, a strong bias to action, a tendency to take initiative, move forward even when not everything is perfectly clear, ties directly into that rapid iteration and speed principle. It's these very qualities that create that special vibe new hires describe, like the excitement of receiving a Noogler hat, the new Googler hat.
Half in the movie.
Yeah. Right. Someone mentioned wanting one ever since watching the internship, highlighting that playful, aspirational, kind of fun aspect of Googliness.
Yeah.
Hashtag tag 1.9, team activities.
And beyond the core work, the demanding pursuit of innovation. It sounds like there are plenty of ways to connect and engage with your team, your colleagues. It's not all just heads down coding or strategizing, is it?
That's absolutely right. Building strong teams isn't just about collaboration on projects. It also crucially involves social bonding, creating a genuine sense of camaraderie.
The social glue.
Exactly. Our sources highlight various team upsides, which are often virtual gatherings for activities like playing games, making cocktails, even building Legos together.
Legos. Nice.
Right. It sounds like a fantastic way to connect, especially in a remote or hybrid world. Reinforces the idea that your colleagues are also your friends, your support system. As one Googler shared, so many swags being sent to us that reminded us that we are a team, and there's like your team members caring about you, and there's various ways to engage with each other, and this is really nice.
That powerfully reinforces the supportive, collaborative aspects we've been talking about.
It really does. It all seems to tie together. Hashtag tag 2. Google's approach to artificial intelligence.
Okay, shifting gears a bit. AI. It's clearly a monumental part of Google's present and obviously its future, deeply embedded in so many products. So how does Google approach developing something so powerful, so rapidly evolving, especially given the significant ethical complexities involved?
Yeah, this section is absolutely crucial because it highlights Google's commitment to developing technology not just for innovation's sake, but with a deep, almost foundational sense of ethical responsibility. It's a core part of their Build for Everyone philosophy.
Build for everyone.
Right, which aims to ensure that AI benefits humanity broadly, mitigating unintended harm or bias. They profoundly understand the immense power of AI and the critical need for a thoughtful, principled approach. Hashtag tag 2.1. Responsible AI principles, new and old.
So Google has specific principles guiding its AI development. What are they, and why are they so important for a company at the absolute forefront of this technology? It's not just about what can be done, right? It's what should be done.
Exactly. Google's approach is deeply rooted in a commitment to strive towards AI that is built for everyone, that it's accountable, safe, respects privacy, and is driven by scientific excellence. They aim to integrate responsibility, by design, into both their products and the organizational structure itself. It's baked in from the start.
By design, okay.
The purpose behind these principles is to clearly articulate why responsible AI practice is absolutely necessary. Recognizing that decisions made at all stages of a project from initial concept through deployment, maintenance have a profound impact on responsible AI outcomes. Organizations, they believe, can and should design AI to fit their specific business needs while upholding ethical values.
So it sounds like these principles aren't just theoretical, they have tangible daily impacts, don't they? More than we realize.
Oh, far more than most people probably realize. Many of us already interact daily with AI without even recognizing it. Think traffic predictions optimizing your commute, personalized TV show recommendations.
Right, the algorithm knows me too well.
Doesn't it? Or even the smart replies in your email. AI-enabled systems are truly helping computers see, understand, interact in ways unimaginable even a decade ago. However, and this is crucial, despite these remarkable advancements, AI is not infallible. It makes mistakes.
Big ones sometimes.
Right. Developing responsible AI requires a deep understanding of possible issues, limitations, even seemingly innocuous uses that could still cause ethical problems or unintended outcomes if not handled carefully. This underscores the continuous need for human oversight and ethical consideration woven into every stage of development. Hashtag 2.2. Principles for responsible AI innovation and collaboration.
Okay, so our sources break down Google's comprehensive approach to AI into 3 core principles. This sounds like a very structured way to manage such a complex and powerful technology.
Yeah, these principles really demonstrate a comprehensive strategy, blending ambitious innovation with a profound sense of caution and responsibility. The first is bold innovation. Google is developing AI designed to assist, empower, inspire people in almost every field.
So, aiming high.
Definitely. Building AI that drives economic progress, genuinely improves lives, enables scientific breakthroughs, helps address humanity's biggest challenges. They focus on developing and deploying models and applications where the overall benefits are substantial and clearly outweigh any foreseeable risks. It's about advancing AI research through rigorous science, rapid iteration, open inquiry. Crucially, using AI to accelerate scientific discovery in fields like biology, medicine, chemistry.
For real hard science problems.
Exactly. Ultimately, it's about solving real-world problems, measuring tangible outcomes, and making these breakthroughs broadly available.
Okay, so pushing boundaries, but with a clear, positive purpose. What about the flip side? Ensuring it's not just powerful, but also safe, thoughtfully applied.
That brings us straight to the second principle, responsible development and deployment. Google fully understands AI is still emerging, transformative, poses evolving complexities and risks that need careful navigation.
It's moving so fast.
Incredibly fast. Therefore, they pursue AI responsibly throughout its entire life cycle, from initial design, rigorous testing, thoughtful deployment, continuous iteration. This involves constantly learning as AI advances. A critical part is implementing appropriate human oversight, due diligence, robust feedback mechanisms to ensure alignment with user goals, societal well-being, international law, human rights. It's about building safeguards into the very fabric of AI creation, making responsibility inherent.
Built in, not bolted on. And the third principle?
The third principle is fostering ecosystem. This emphasizes Google's commitment to cultivating a vibrant, collaborative ecosystem, empowering others, partners, developers, researchers to build innovative tools, solutions, actively contribute to progress in the field. It's about shared growth, ensuring the benefits of AI are distributed widely, encouraging a collective, global approach to responsible advancement. Hashtag 2.3, AI products and tools.
It's clear these principles are more than just words. They translate directly into actual products, tools we encounter. What are some of these AI-powered innovations and experiments we're hearing about?
Yeah, it's abundantly clear Google is embedding AI across its entire product suite. From direct consumer tools you might use daily to advanced developer platforms, we see AI-first products like Gemini, their personal AI assistant, AI mode in Google Search letting you ask anything anyway.
Okay.
There's Notebook LM, described as the ultimate tool for understanding, helps synthesize info. Flow, an AI filmmaking tool for creatives.
So it's not just separate products, but AI woven into existing services too, enhancing what we already use.
Exactly. They're integrating AI features directly into popular Google apps, like Ask Maps in Google Maps for smarter predictions. Gemini Live on mobile for Android, offering real-time AI assistance. Ask Photos in Google Photos, finding images with natural language.
That Ask Photos one is useful.
Isn't it? And Help Me Write in Gmail and Docs within Google Workspace, assisting with drafting emails, documents. Even Chrome is getting browsed with built-in AI, transforming how you interact with web content. Features designed to significantly enhance existing experiences.
And they're constantly experimenting, pushing the envelope even further with new ideas.
Indeed. Our sources mention some of their latest experiments, often from Google Labs, like Project Astra, envisioning a universal AI assistant. Project Mariner, exploring intelligent in-browser agents. Whisk, a tool to help visualize and remix creative ideas. Beyond consumer tools, Google's also focused on building with Google AI, providing powerful platforms for developers.
Tools for others to build on top of.
Right. Google AI Studio, for building with their latest models. Vertex AI, a powerful end-to-end platform for enterprise clients. And the Gemini API, letting developers easily integrate Google's advanced AI into their own applications.
It sounds like they're building the foundational models themselves, which then power all these applications.
That's right. Under Discover models, they highlight cutting-edge DeepMind models, like Gemini, their most intelligent AI models, Gemma, their state-of-the-art open models for broader use, Veo, which creates high-quality video from text, Imagen for generating stunning images from text, Lyria for text to audio.
Text to everything, basically.
Pretty much. And for developers, numerous tools to code with AI assistance, accelerating software development, integrated AI code helping Colab, Jules, Gemini Code Assist, Android Studio, Chrome DevTools, Firebase Studio. It's a comprehensive, multi-layered approach, from fundamental research all the way to consumer-facing features.
Okay, now, for many, the ultimate goal isn't just to use Google's products, but to actually become a Googler. But how do you actually get in? We often hear stories about how rigorous the hiring process is, almost like navigating a maze. but our sources actually provide a pretty clear roadmap, demystifying it somewhat.
Yeah, this is where critical thinking really comes into play for applicants. Understanding their process can significantly improve your chances. It's designed to be remarkably fair and effective, focusing on the candidate as a whole person, not just a list of credentials. It's about demonstrating not just what you know, but how you think, how you collaborate, and crucially, how you embody that unique Googliness. Hashtag 3.1, application stage.
Okay, it all starts with the application. With so many products, teams, diverse roles at Google, how do you even begin to find the right one for you? It can genuinely feel like searching for a needle in a massive haystack.
Right. The first step is absolutely crucial, finding the right role. You need to align your interests and skills before you even start looking at job listings. This involves thoughtful self-assessment. Identify what you truly enjoyed, didn't enjoy in past jobs, projects, hobbies. What skills did you consistently use? Was it gaining support, coordinating efforts, managing projects? Look for recurring themes. Organizing, reading, writing, helping people, analyzing data, visual design.
Know thyself, basically.
Exactly. Consider preferences.
Yeah.
Collaborating versus solo desk work. Once you have that clarity, then browse Google's career site, careers.google.com. You can create a personalized career profile for custom recommendations, job alerts, helps filter the noise. Remember, you can apply for up to 3 jobs every 30 days. And it's absolutely essential to meet all minimum listed qualifications for the role before applying. Don't waste your shot. Hashtag resume CV preparation.
Okay, let's talk resumes. This isn't just about listing past jobs or tech skills. It's about telling a compelling story, highlighting your unique value and impact. It's your very first impression.
Totally. This document is truly your marketing material. It needs to clearly communicate your value to the business. And crucially, it must be tailored specifically to the job you're applying for. One size does not fit all here. For the key basics, Google recommends a simple, consistent format design, font, sizing, spacing, easy to scan for busy recruiters.
Keep it clean.
Definitely. Black ink is safe, readable colors okay. PDF preferred to maintain formatting, include contact info, email clearly at the top, objective statements, optional. If included, must be relevant, concise, no references needed up front. Length. 1 page for business internship roles, no longer than 2 pages for engineering, focus strictly on relevance and impact.
2 pages max for engineers. Interesting.
Yeah, relevance is key. Use bullet points, consistent formatting, not dense paragraphs. And maybe the most critical tip of all, always double check, triple check for typos. Our sources highlight a sobering fact. A hiring manager once rejected an otherwise perfect candidate due to a single typo.
Ouch. Attention to detail matters. What about for technical roles specifically? Any unique considerations?
For technical engineering candidates, vital to list programming languages prominently at the top. Be prepared to interview in them. Including your GitHub profile or other prominent open source work is highly recommended. Shows contribution, passion, skill improvement. Also, bolding the specific programming languages used for each project effectively highlights relevant skills.
Good tip.
For section delineation, clearly separate sections. Education, experience, projects, leadership awards, optional final section, students of recent grads, education usually first, experience pros, education lower, experience takes up the bulk. Consider subsections for distinct categories if needed. Technical engineering, include personal class projects prominently, shows initiative.
Right. Let's dive deeper into the content, especially education and experience. This is where you really show, not just tell.
Okay, education details. If recently attended uni, include more detail. List all post-secondary institutions, degrees, majors, most recent first. Always include actual or anticipated graduation date, month-year format, e.g. May 2024, not spring 2024. Current students, recent grads? Include cumulative GPA, but remember, it's part of the whole package. Google explicitly emphasizes they do not require degrees from certain universities or even a university degree for all roles. Focus is capability over pedigree.
That's important to know. And experience, beyond just jobs.
For experience details, absolutely beyond jobs internships, include academic research, teaching tutoring, personal projects, student group class projects, technical candidates. Highlight open source, mobile app, web dev, hackathons, coding competitions. List in reverse chronological order, include employer, position, dates employed, month-year format.
Okay, this is huge. Google really values data, so how do you quantify your impact? Make achievements stand out rather than just listing duties. This feels like where many people fall short.
Yeah, this is critical. The Google XYZ formula is their strongly preferred method, designed to make contributions clear and impactful. The formula, accomplish X as measured by Y by doing Z. Simple, powerful.
Okay, break that down. XYZ.
Right. X your specific accomplishment, project, problem solved. Y is the metric quantifying it, number, percentage, ratio. Z is the result or outcome, how it tangibly benefited the company.org. Example, technical. Increased server query response time by 15% Y by restructuring API Z. Accomplishment X is implicit improved performance. Business example. Grew revenue from 15 small medium business clients X context by 10% quarter-over-quarter Y by mapping new software features as solutions to their business goals Z.
Got it. Makes it very concrete.
Exactly. The overall focus should be relentlessly on results and impact, not just duties. Use data, comparisons. Recruiters want momentum impact, what changed because you were there. This framework is also great for the leadership and awards section. Apply XYZ to showcase positions, awards, honors. Example provided. Selected as one of 230 participants nationwide X context for an 18-month professional development program based on leadership potential and academic success. Z. Metric Y is implied selectivity. Finally, an optional final section, About You, can include student groups, publications, patents, presentations. Again, use XYZ where possible.
Okay, applicant tracking systems, ATS. There's a lot of chatter about beating the ATS, stuffing resumes with keywords. Is that a real strategy or just a myth?
It's a very common and persistent myth, mostly.
Oh.
The ATS is primarily a digital filing cabinet, not a sophisticated AI gatekeeper usually. You are fundamentally writing for a human recruiter who will skim your resume in real time, quickly.
So no secret algorithm filtering people out?
Not in the way people think. There's no AI filtering based on complex keyword algorithms for qualifications. Now, certain knockout questions like, are you authorized to work here? Or need visa sponsorship? Can auto-reject if your answer doesn't match requirements. But those are direct questions set by recruiters, not the core ATS function. Therefore, absolutely avoid keyword stuffing, pasting job descriptions in white font, or lying about credentials. They do background checks.
Right. Honesty is key.
Absolutely. Your primary focus should always be clarity and relevance for a human reader. Pepper keywords thoughtfully for their benefit, making it easy to see your alignment with a role.
Given the rise of AI tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, can AI actually help with resume and cover letter prep? Or is it better to stick to traditional methods?
Oh, absolutely. AI tools can significantly accelerate the process, but they require careful human oversight and meticulous fact-checking. For a cover letter, you can use AI strategically. Research company mission values, tell me about company's mission. Extract and rank keywords from the job description. What are the key keywords here? Ranked. Then ask AI to draft an initial cover letter based on that job description. Update that draft with your specific work experience using AI prompts. Finally, refine the tone and style. Rewrite to sound more conversational, incorporate specific examples, add business-appropriate humor and quantifiable data.
And for the resume itself, can AI help build that out, save time?
Yes, definitely. For a resume, start by feeding the AI your background experience, skills, education. For new grads, a prompt like, write a one-page resume for a new grad of school, major X, minor Y, with Z years experience in internships work, etc. If you have an existing resume, paste it. Create a resume with this info. Crucially, update the experience section with 3 to 4 powerful bullet points per role. Ensure each includes metrics, quantifiable data, and at least one keyword from the job description, using that XYZ formula.
But verify the data.
Absolutely vital. Verify all quantifiable data. Modify any AI-generated number to be accurate to your experience. AI might confidently invent numbers. To find more quantifiable skills, ask AI, what are quantifiable skills of a role title, and give an example for each. Key caveat, use AI as an assistant, a feedback point, not an unquestionable authority. Always verify honesty, transparency, be mindful of bias. Start with your core content for authenticity. Hashtag 3.2, evaluation criteria. The 4 attributes.
Okay, beyond the resume, Google uses 4 core attributes to evaluate every single candidate, regardless the role or level. What are these universal markers of a successful Googler, and how exactly do they assess them throughout the process?
Right, these attributes represent Google's holistic view of what makes a strong hire. It goes way beyond just technical skills or job titles. All interviewers are extensively trained, use standardized rubrics, ensures consistency, fairness, confidence in assessments. The first attribute is general cognitive ability. Basically, problem solving. How you learn, solve hard problems in real life. Not about GPAs or test scores. It's about finding smart people who can learn quickly and adapt. Think critically in new situations.
Potential and adaptability, not just current knowledge. What's number 2?
Second is role-related knowledge. This is the specific skills, domain expertise, experience directly needed for the job you're applying for, where your technical expertise, industry knowledge, relevant background come directly into play. Demonstrates your immediate capacity to contribute.
Okay. And the third, leadership. That sounds broad, especially since not everyone applies for management. What does leadership truly mean at Google, where everyone's expected to lead?
Excellent question. Because at Google, leadership is important at every level, not just for formal managers. Every Googler is expected to possess leadership qualities. This involves your communication style, how you navigate complexity, ambiguity, how you work with teams, your vision, your impact, your capacity for delivering results.
Right.
Leaders at Google are authentic, transparent, humble, technically knowledgeable. They actively create an open, inclusive environment. They know how to balance process with tangible outcomes. It means motivating people to achieve things they might not do on their own. Being effective, communicating upward, downward, sideways. Influence is key: credibility, relationships, vision.
Got it. Broader influence and impact, not just a title. And the final attribute ties directly into that unique Google culture, right? Googliness.
Precisely. The fourth, often most distinctive attribute is Googliness. Encompasses culture fit, collaborative nature. Specifically looks for those personal qualities we highlighted: curious, learning-oriented, humble, sense of humor, non-standard thinking, challenging norms. Also, conscientious, responsible, comfortable with ambiguity, and crucially, having a bias to action-taking initiative. It's about how well you truly align with and actively contribute to Google's unique, collaborative, and innovative culture. Hashtag tag 3.3, interview process.
So you've done the self-assessment, crafted that perfect resume. What happens when you get that coveted call for an interview? What's the Google interview experience truly like?
Preparation is absolutely paramount here. Google's interview process is incredibly thorough, designed to assess both technical prowess and your genuine fit within their unique culture. Usually starts with initial screening and phone calls. If the recruiting team thinks you're a potential match, you enter the process. Typically a brief recruiter call first, learn about you, interests, experiences, followed by 1 or 2 phone interviews with actual Googlers. More specific to the job or team, technical roles often means coding interviews done remotely. Business roles focus on job-specific skills, behavioral questions.
And if you don't hear back after those calls?
Yeah, if you don't hear back within a few weeks, generally safe to assume they're moving forward with others. But they might reach out for different roles later. Your profile stays active.
Okay. And after the phone screens, what's next? The famous on-site interviews. I imagine they're often virtual now.
Correct. Next crucial step is on-site interviews. Though, as you said, most now happen virtually via Google Meet, especially post-pandemic. Logistics need a reliable computer laptop with Meet, webcam, phone as backup for audio-video issues. Your preferred method for note-taking or sharing coding design work, often a digital whiteboard or shared doc. Dress code, typically quite casual, mirroring what interviewers wear daily. Be aware interviewers take extensive notes throughout. That feedback is critical later. Hashtag interview focus areas general.
Beyond just assessing those 4 core attributes, what are interviewers really trying to uncover during these conversations? What should a candidate focus on demonstrating, regardless of the question type?
Good question. They're looking for strong problem-solving skills, a clear ability to learn and adapt quickly, and critically, how you interact and communicate your thought process. Many questions are deliberately vague or open-ended, precisely to see how you engage with ambiguity, tackle problems you haven't seen before.
See how you think on your feet.
Exactly. You need to consistently show problem-solving abilities, intellectual fluency. Vital to explain, clarify your answers. Talk through your thought process, decision-making. Don't just regurgitate a memorized answer. Verbalize, actively check your assumptions. Ask clarifying questions if you don't understand or need more info. Always think about ways to improve proposed answers. First solution isn't always optimal. Iterating, refining your approach is highly valued.
So show your work, basically.
In a way, yes. Practice is paramount. Test your own code, write algorithms, solve problems, mock interviews, highly recommended. Get comfortable with the format, pressure. And maybe surprisingly, confidence is key. Sources emphasize. Don't underestimate the power of being confident. Hashtag question types and best practices.
Let's break down the main question types and how to best approach them. What about behavioral questions? Asking about how you acted or would act in a specific past situation.
Right, behavioral questions. Designed to understand past actions, predict future behavior. The STAR method, situation, task, action, result, is highly recommended for structuring answers. Ensure you provide both qualitative and quantitative results. Use that XYZ thinking again.
Just your method. Got it.
Other useful methods. CAR, challenge, action, result, for discussing overcoming difficulties. PIR, problem, action, result, for streamlining discussion of solved problems. The focus isn't just recounting past experience. It's demonstrating future potential, ability to learn, capacity to execute. Fundamentally about the how, more than just the what. Absolutely must provide specific, detailed examples for all answers. Be authentic. Address weaknesses by showing concrete steps taken to overcome them, e.g. time management, not perfectionism.
Right, show growth.
Exactly. Finally, insert evidence into answers. Internal references, stakeholders' reports, or
Yeah.
external publications data. Boosts credibility, confidence.
Okay. And what about those tricky, open-ended hypothetical questions? They can feel intimidating, no single right answer. Seems designed to throw you off balance.
Indeed. Hypothetical questions are specifically designed to see how you navigate ambiguity, structure your thinking with an unknown problem. Google recommends the CFAS method. Start with clarifying questions, either yes-no to narrow scope. Then offer high-level concepts or a strategic framework. Clearly state your assumptions to narrow focus, show thought process. Then proceed to solve, concentrating on one concept at a time.
CFAS. Clarify, framework, assumptions, solve.
Right. Interviewers intentionally give vague questions to see how you tackle ambiguity. Be prepared to suggest alternative solutions with different trade-offs. Openly discuss pros and cons. They want to see your problem-solving process.
Makes sense. Beyond technical or deep problem solving, what about general non-technical questions for business roles? What should candidates prioritize?
For non-technical questions, focus on skills experience specific to the business role. Prepare answers to common questions like, why Google? Why this role? Highly recommended. Write down maybe 20 test questions. Craft 3 different answers for each. Practice them aloud until they feel natural.
3 answers for each. Why 3?
Gives you flexibility depending on the interviewer's focus or the flow of conversation. Prevents sounding robotic. Every single answer should be a concise, compelling story with supporting data, concrete outcomes. Instead of just saying, I am a decisive leader, follow with, and let me tell you about a time when I demonstrated this by situation which led to result. Show, don't just tell, impactful narratives.
Okay, now for many, the technical interviews are often seen as the most daunting part. What can candidates expect for technical questions? Coding engineering. How best to prepare?
Right, the technical gauntlet. Be comfortable coding fluently in at least one language. C, C++, bin Java, Python, JavaScript, go. Google evaluates conceptual understanding, problem-solving approach, not just syntax memorization. Crucially, practice coding on a whiteboard, Google Doc, piece of paper. You won't have ID compiler help during the interview. Get used to that environment.
Back to basics.
Totally. Focus on core CS principles. Fundamental data structures, algorithms, code design, sorted entries, big O notation, code efficiency is data scales, APIs, how software components talk. Need strong understanding of common data structures. Arrays, linked lists, stacks, queues, sets, maps, trees, heaps, graphs, the classics. For algorithms. Common approaches like sorting, searching, binary search, divide and conquer, dynamic programming memorization, greedy algorithms, recursion, graph traversal, not obscure domain-specific stuff usually.
Focus on fundamentals.
Right. Goal is efficient prototype code in a short time frame. Crucially, outline your algorithm, discuss it with the interviewer before coding to refine your approach. Show collaboration. Understanding computational complexity, space and time, is vital. Iterating to improve solutions efficiency is highly valued. Don't just stop at the first working answer.
What about systems design? Seems like a big part of more senior technical interviews, no coding involved.
System design interviews. Typically for candidates with 5+ years experience.
Yeah.
And yes, no coding. Focuses on combining technical knowledge, theory, judgment to solve real-world, large-scale problems, topics, designing feature sets, interfaces, class hierarchies, especially distributed systems, often under specific constraints, latency, cost, etc.
Real-world trade-offs.
Exactly. Needs solid understanding of how the internet works. Routers, DNS, load balancers, firewalls. Critical to design with scale in mind. Large data sets, sharding, distributing data, replication types, write-ahead logging, distributing load, identifying fastest machines. Be prepared to discuss system component properties. Latency, throughput, often provide numeric estimates. Have general idea of real-world cost latencies. Reading disk versus memory, LAN round trip, cross-continental network call.
Need those back-of-the-envelope numbers.
Right. Use the whiteboard effectively. Estimate resources, diagram designed. Familiarity with industry solution patterns is important. They value seeing you consider multiple solutions, commit to one, then iterate to improve it. Show the thinking process.
And beyond coding or system design, how important is testing in these technical assessments?
Testing is also key. 3+ years experience. Hands-on testing expected. Less than 3 years. More about testing aptitude, approach to quality. Questions might include, how'd you unit test this code? Interesting inputs test cases, design end-to-end integration, load, performance, security tests for real-world systems like Gmail. Throughout all technical interviews, clarity and communication are paramount. Explain your thought process. Better to talk than stay silent. Ask clarifying questions. Be mindful of pacing. Hashtag tag 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 communication style in interview.
Communication seems to be a recurring vital theme. How can candidates ensure their communication style during the interview leaves the best impression, especially under pressure?
It's vital. Speak clearly, straightforwardly. Guide the interviewer logically, point A to point B. Common trap to avoid, upspeak. Inflecting upwards at sentence end. Makes you sound uncertain, like asking a question. Practice downspeak for clarity, confidence.
Upspeak. Good point.
When constructing an answer, envision steps on a staircase.
Yeah.
Even, balanced, logically connected, smooth, easy to follow. Using if-then statements adds immense logic, clarity. If we apply this strategy, then we should anticipate a 20% efficiency increase. Link multiple if-thens for robust explanation. Powerful technique. Start with the end in mind. Begin with main takeaway conclusion. Use if-thens for supporting logic, and with concise summary. BLUF, bottom line up front.
Start with the answer.
Often, yes. Always project confidence. Don't be afraid to write things out, whiteboard, shared doc. Even just organizing thoughts, visualizing your process, shows structure.
Okay. And finally, the classic interview tip, asking questions at the end. Still expected at Google. Or can it backfire sometime?
Absolutely. Always prepare and ask insightful questions. Demonstrates engagement, genuine interest. Hiring manager. Ask about team challenges, current projects they're excited about, what success looks like in first 90 days. Recruiter. Perfectly fine. Expected to ask about benefits package, compensation structure, next steps in the process. Shows you're serious, thinking strategically. Hashtag tag interview types by role.
So we've covered the general process, core attributes. But how do interview types vary for different roles? Technical versus business, UX design. Can't be one size fits all.
You're right. Depends heavily on the specific role. For technical roles, as discussed, interviews almost always involve rigorous coding, system design, especially senior roles, core CS principles questions. For business roles, focus shifts significantly. Assessing skills, experience specific to the job function. Behavioral, hypothetical questions, very common. Testing how you've handled past complex situations, how you'd approach new business challenges. For UX design roles, interviews focus intensely on communication, collaboration skills, your design process, user-centered focus, problem solving, creativity, execution capabilities.
What are they looking for in UX designers specifically?
Google specifically looks for designers who can invent truly new, useful solutions, who can effectively frame, reframe problems, bring the right tools, sketches, wireframes, mockups to solve those problems, and strategically influence future product builds. It's about demonstrating ability to not only design, but also lead, advocate for user-centered solutions throughout the product lifecycle.
Google's products touch billions of lives. Search, Android, autonomous vehicles. That global reach takes a vast array of roles, way beyond just software engineers. What are some of these diverse positions that make up the incredible Google ecosystem?
Yeah, this section truly highlights the immense breadth of opportunities, the varied expertise required to build, maintain Google's extensive ecosystem. Many people think it's predominantly engineering, but that's simply not the full picture at all. There's a place for almost every talent. Hashtag 4.1, technical roles.
Let's start with the technical side, often what comes to mind first. Key technical roles at Google, what do they entail day to day?
Okay, at the core you have software engineers, SWEs, fundamental engineering, writing code, algorithms powering Google products. Often involves understanding complex systems, identifying common issues, making software incredibly efficient, scalable. The builders. We heard from Googlers like Zlango, a technical solutions engineer, and Shreya and Nimrota, cloud technical residents. Crucial roles involving tech solutions, cloud ops, helping customers, internal teams leverage Google Cloud.
So beyond core coding, there's product vision, management needing deep technical understanding too.
Absolutely. Product managers, PMs, are crucial. Set the product vision, what product needs to be built. Meet user needs, market opportunities, own the why and the what. Then technical program managers, TPMs like Yves Anderson, Omiyamu, Sam Cowley, Mitch Story. Instrumental. A TPM figures out how to build a product, organizes complex efforts, anticipates issues, mitigates risks across teams, works closely with engineering, balances crucial business technical decisions. TPM offer more hands-on in testing, understanding tech requirements, critical bridge between technical and non-technical stakeholders.
Sounds like a translator role sometimes.
Often is. Often a role for those with strong SW background who enjoy talking to people, orchestrating projects more than coding all day. As one TPM put it, I like to talk to people more than sitting in my desk and code.
Makes sense. And the massive infrastructure supporting global operations, keeping everything running 24/7.
That falls to critical roles like data center operations facilities managers, like Caratoni's Monica Greenhill, manage physical operations, power, cooling of massive data centers. Site reliability engineers, SREs, focus obsessively on reliability, scalability, uptime of critical systems, applications, often build automation to keep things running, like firefighters, but preventing fires.
Good analogy.
With the explosion of AI, dedicated machine learning ML roles involved with developing, deploying, maintaining ML models, complex requirements. Test engineers, like Jennifer Wu Albert, responsible for software system quality, identify ways software can break, build infra to reduce manual testing, develop new testing tech. Another interesting one, engineering productivity, EngProd, specifically focuses on improving overall engineering efficiency, developer experience, making engineers faster, happier.
Meta engineering?
Kind of. UX manager designers,
Mm.
like Xiomara Alejandro, concentrate on user experience design, deep problem solving, creativity, strategically influencing product builds to be user-friendly, intuitive. Research scientists, like Sammy, conduct foundational research, often pushing boundaries of AI or other fields, frequently involved in technical interviews. Lastly, technical recruiters, like Jeremy Okis was key players, responsible for finding, hiring talent for all these complex technical roles. Hashtag tech 4.2 non-technical business roles.
So that's the highly specialized technical side. But Google's a massive global enterprise. Many other functions essential to its operation, engaging customers, managing finances. What are some non-technical or business roles that truly make Google run?
Oh, an incredibly wide array. Just as vital to Google's success. Includes sales, focusing on selling Google's vast portfolio to businesses, consumers, numerous program and project management roles, organize, coordinate efforts across departments. Similar to TPM, but often less direct technical involvement, more focus on overall strategic execution. Operations roles manage various operational aspects, ensuring smooth day-to-day functioning across diverse areas. Marketing is crucial. Roles like product marketing manager, mentioned by an employee in Android, focus on bringing products to market, communicating their value effectively.
And like any large multinational, robust support functions needed for immense scale, global presence.
Is exactly. Finance handles all financial ops, budgeting to strategic investments. Legal manages all legal aspects, IP to compliance, specialized roles like manager and trust and safety, content investigation, managing content moderation policies, enforcement, keeping users safe. For talent acquisition, HR recruiter, business recruiters like Lizzie, Rachel, Shadan, Maustri, responsible for finding, hiring for all these non-technical business roles. Program managers on intern teams, like Jules, manage Google's extensive intern programs, vital for future talent pipelines.
The pipeline is key.
It is. We also heard about a chief of staff for Nest hardware development team, like Carmela, supporting executive leadership, strategic initiatives, other critical business roles, business analysts analyzing data to inform strategy, human resources for all people ops, public policy dealing with regulatory policy environments worldwide, communications managing internal-external messaging, PR. Truly takes a vast, diverse set of skills and roles to power a company like Google. Hashtag tech 4.3. Product manager PM versus program manager, PGM versus technical program manager, TPM.
These titles, product manager, program manager, technical program manager, they can sound very similar to an outsider. Easy to get confused. Let's clarify the distinct differences, where each fits within Google's complex project structure.
Yeah, common area of confusion. But understanding nuances is crucial to grasping how projects are structured, executed at Google. High level. Product manager, PM, sets the product vision. Core focus. Defining what product to build. Based on deep understanding of market needs, user pain points, what will truly resonate, owns the why and the what.
Okay, PM defines destination, why it's important. What about the how we get there?
That's precisely where program manager, PGM, and technical program manager, TPM, come in. A program manager, PGM, is generally more focused on operations, broad program management, like managing timelines, overall tech development across multiple teams, ensuring delivery on time, scope. Role is coordinating efforts, resources to achieve a defined goal, often across multiple interconnected projects or initiatives.
And the TPM adds that deep technical layer to program management, blends both worlds. Exactly. The technical program manager, TPM, helps translate product vision into reality, acts as crucial bridge. Typically more hands-on understanding technical intricacies of development, more deeply involved in technical aspects, including rigorous testing, engaging directly with ML teams to understand models, requirements, often combines strong technical background with excellent interpersonal skills. That quote again. I like to talk to people more than sitting at my desk and code. TPM often acts as dual language processor, effectively bridging communication between highly technical and non-technical stakeholders, ensuring clear communication, alignment between product vision, and precise technical implementation. Hashtag tag 5, post-interview and offer.
Okay, you've navigated the extensive application, crafted the resume, gone through the interview gauntlet, demonstrated Googliness, technical prowess. What happens next? What can you expect if an offer comes your way after such a rigorous process?
Right, the post-interview process at Google. Designed to be comprehensive, unbiased. Multiple layers of review before an offer is extended. Certainly not a quick decision, nor left to a single individual. Hashtag tag 5.1. Hiring decision.
So once interviews are done, feedback collected, who actually makes the final hiring call? Just the hiring manager for that team.
Nope, not at Google. Process involves multiple stages. Ensure incredibly comprehensive, unbiased decision. First, your recruiter compiles all gathered info. Detailed interview feedback scores from each interviewer, resume, references, work samples, the whole package. Then goes to the hiring committee, composed of experienced Googlers, know the role well, but crucially, haven't met applicants personally.
Objective review.
Exactly. Goal is comprehensive, objective review based solely on evidence collected, ensuring consistent bar across all hires, and there's even another layer of review after the committee.
Wow. Rigorous.
It is. Intentional, to minimize bias. Yes, if hiring committee recommends hiring, recommendation plus all info goes to a senior leader. Another layer of objectivity, final review. This multi-layered approach designed to eliminate individual biases, ensure every hiring decision is well considered, aligned with Google's highest standards, reflects commitment to finding best talent globally. Hashtag 5.2, offer and compensation.
If everything's approved through that multi-layered process, then the exciting part, the offer. What can candidates typically expect regarding compensation, possibility of negotiation at Google?
Right, if all stages approved, recruiter gets in touch, extends an offer. Salary negotiation. Important to understand, recruiters work within predefined salary band for each specific role, level. Your interview performance, overall candidacy strength, largely determine where you fall within that band.
So performance directly impacts offer level within the band.
Generally, yes. While direct base salary negotiation might be somewhat limited by this established band, there can be flexibility in other elements of total comp. Sign-on bonus, for instance, may be negotiable, especially if you can effectively demonstrate very short ramp-up time, tangibly saving company money. Recruiter can be incredibly valuable partner here. Work collaboratively, ask clearly what elements are negotiable, what are not.
Good advice, be direct.
Yeah. Also worth reiterating, attention to detail matters throughout. Even small typo on resume, mentioned earlier, can lead to rejection. Indicates lack of thoroughness, highly valued at Google. Hashtag 5.3, reapplication strategy.
What if it doesn't work out the first time? Can be really disheartening, going through all that, facing rejection. Is that the end of the road for someone hoping to work at Google?
This is a key takeaway. Point Google consistently emphasizes. For many Googlers, their journey involved applying for other roles, sometimes multiple times, before eventually securing an interview, job offer.
So persistence pays off.
It seems so. Persistence, commitment to learning from each experience are highly valued. So if things don't work out with first application, don't let that stop you applying for other roles in future. After you apply once, Google saves your info and candidate profile. Makes it easier, quicker to apply to future roles without re-entering all details.
That's handy.
It is also important to remember, sometimes, even if you do absolutely everything right or a strong candidate, you may not receive offer due to factors entirely outside your control. Headcount changes, team restructuring.
Right, stuff happens.
Exactly. In such cases, don't be discouraged. Recruiters, hiring managers often remember strong candidates for future opportunities, even if they move on elsewhere in the interim. Hashtag 6. I am a remarkable initiative.
Finally, let's talk about an internal initiative. Speaks volumes about Google's culture of empowerment, commitment to fostering diversity. I am remarkable. This isn't just a feel-good program. It tackles a really deep-seated societal issue.
Yeah, this initiative directly addresses the often unspoken societal discomfort with self-promotion, especially prevalent among women, underrepresented groups. Connects it back to critical business success derived from genuine diversity. Fundamental purpose. A workshop specifically designed to empower women, underrepresented groups, to practice self-promotion skills, celebrate successes professionally, personally, in a comfortable, supportive environment.
So challenging that common societal norm often discourages people, particularly women, from speaking about achievements.
Exactly. Core challenge it addresses. Many women raised with implicit message. Don't brag, not nice, not modest to speak about accomplishments. However, as Anna Vayner, founder of the initiative, profoundly points out, if you're stating facts, it's not bragging, it's just telling the truth.
Powerful distinction. Facts versus bragging.
Right. She highlights an uncomfortable stat. Shows both men and women sometimes react negatively to women who promote themselves, leading to a form of backlash. Yet, undeniable reality, people who don't practice self-promotion, who don't share their accomplishments, are left behind. Career advancement, promotions, recognition, Workshop aims to actively bridge this critical gap, provide safe space to practice.
What actually happens in the workshop? How do they help people overcome this ingrained discomfort?
During the workshop, participants asked to write down what makes them remarkable, then critically read it aloud to the group. Exercise often elicits gasping reaction initially, Vayner describes. For many, first time openly articulating achievements. However, initial discomfort quickly transforms into profound sense of pride, empowerment. As people open up, feel genuinely good sharing successes in supportive environment. Powerful act of validation.
And the tangible impact, does it actually change anything? For individuals, Google as a whole.
Impact seems significant, measurable. 75% of participants reported workshop boosted confidence. Impressive. 78% said it helped portray self-promotion skills more effectively at their job.
Wow, those are strong numbers.
Aren't they? Beyond individual benefits, initiative helps organizations, including Google, actively rethink, improve processes around promotions, pay raises, hiring practices, pushing for more equitable recognition. Broader significance rooted in business reality. Research consistently shows companies significantly investing in diversity, having women on leadership boards, actually mean more money. About understanding diversity truly matters because it fundamentally helps you make better business decisions, leading to more innovative, robust outcomes. Business leaders actively encourage through this initiative to challenge own decisions, ensure teams genuinely represent the world out there, recognizing it as strategic imperative for Google's continued success. Hashtag tech tag outro.
Wow, what an incredible deep dive into the world of Google. From the intricate details of resume writing, the nuances of their multi-layered interview process, to the core values shaping groundbreaking products, that powerful I Am Remarkable initiative. We've truly unpacked so much today. It's clear Google is far more than just a tech giant. It's a meticulously crafted culture built on very specific principles.
Yeah, if we connect this to the bigger picture, it's clear Google's relentless pursuit of 10x thinking extends far beyond just technology. It's deeply ingrained in their culture, the very intentional way they build their teams. Their approach to hiring is a deliberate reflection of their core principles, seeking not just highly skilled individuals, but those who align with their collaborative, data-driven, user-focused ethos. This raises an important question for you, our listener. How might actively understanding a company's deep-seated principles, specific hiring philosophies, change your own approach to career growth, even if you're not applying to Google?
That's a powerful thought. Whether you're considering a career at Google or simply looking to enhance your own professional journey, so many invaluable insights here. You can apply the principles of clarity and communication, the data-driven approach to self-promotion, or the critical value of embracing ambiguity in your own professional life. Perhaps you're now inspired to explore more about Google's responsible AI initiatives, or dive deeper into those specific interview prep techniques for your own aspirations.
The knowledge is out there. It's about how you choose to use it to propel yourself forward.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. And if there's a topic you're intensely curious about, a stack of sources you want us to unpack, a company you want us to explore, send them our way. We truly love taking on your unique challenges. Until next time.